A black street vendor fed a homeless white boy every day, never guessing that kindness would drag a buried horror into daylight. Downtown Los Angeles was rolling through a normal afternoon when the air shifted. A low hum thickened into a roar, and two military helicopters dropped so low, their propellers blasted dust, wrappers, and papers across the sidewalk. Black SUVs skidded in, doors flying open. Uniformed men spilled out and formed a tight ring around a small hot dog cart. "Everyone back! Hands up!" a commander shouted. Kesha Williams, 34, didn't run. She stood her ground with the instinct of someone protecting what matters. Behind her legs, 8-year-old Tommy trembled and clutched her apron, blonde hair matted, blue eyes wide with panic. "Stay with me," she whispered. "And Kesha's right here." To the crowd, it looked like a terrifying mistake an army mobilized over a vendor and a street kid. To Kesha, it felt like confirmation. You don't send a military-style response for a random runaway unless the real target is a secret. 3 months earlier, on a freezing January morning, Kesha had parked her cart before sunrise and found a small boy asleep beside it. He was dirty, clothes ripped, shoes split at the toes, but he didn't beg. He asked for work. "Ma'am, I can sweep for a sandwich," he'd said, polite in a way street kids rarely are. Something in his voice pulled at her. She fed him that day, then the next, then every day after. She didn't pry. Trauma doesn't open under pressure, it opens under safety. As weeks passed, she noticed what he tried to hide. Bruises near his ribs, finger marks on his arms, thin scars on his back. Even in summer, he wore long sleeves. Loud men made him flinch. Luxury cars made him freeze. And at night, half asleep near her cart, he whispered names like prayers. "Daddy Richard, please don't. Don't hit Mom. I didn't mean it." One afternoon, he looked at her with terror and said, "If they find me, he'll hurt me worse." Now they were here, and agent stepped closer. "Are you Kesha Williams? We need you to come with us." Tommy sobbed and pressed tighter to her. "They're here to get me." "You promised." Kesha lifted her chin. "What's this about?" Before the agent answered, an armored limousine glided to the curb. A man in a flawless suit emerged, silver hair perfect, smile sharp. He carried power the way some people carry perfume, loud, expensive, and choking. "Senator Richard Blackwood," an agent announced. Kesha's stomach dropped. Blackwood was the politician who loved talking about cleaning up the streets, who pushed laws against undesirable vendors, who sold the public a shiny speech about family values. Tommy was his son, a cruel smile spread across his face. Unlicensed vendor, unpaid fines, and now child abduction. He paused like a judge savoring a sentence. "I could bear you with charges." Kesha's pulse pounded, but her voice stayed steady. "Tommy, tell them why you won't go home. I forbid it," Blackwood snapped, mask cracking. He's traumatized, but Tommy found courage under Kesha's arm. "He hits Mom," he blurted. "He hits me when no one sees. That's why I ran." Silence slammed down. Agents shifted uncomfortably. Onlookers raised phones despite orders to move. Blackwood recovered too fast to be innocent. He's imagining things. Active imagination. "Come on, son. Your mother's worried." "Mom's scared of you too," Tommy cried. "She cries every night." Kesha watched fear flicker across the senator's face. A man this powerful didn't bring helicopters just to retrieve a child. He brought them to silence one. "Interesting," Kesha said, loud enough for the agents to hear. "A senator who preaches family values needs helicopters to fetch a boy terrified of him." Blackwood bristled. "You don't know who I am. I make laws. I can ruin you with a call." Kesha crouched to Tommy's height. "Tell them what happened." Blackwood lunged toward them, but his own men restrained him. "He's being coached." "He beat Mom with a belt," Tommy said, voice cracking. Diana was Kesha's sister, a child rights lawyer. They'd grown up in foster care, watching the system fail kids who didn't have a safe adult. They'd promised to become that adult for someone else. Kesha stood, eyes locked on Blackwood. "You're right about one thing, Senator. I fed this boy something." Blackwood's smile turned predatory. "So you admit manipulation?" "I fed him safety," she said. "I fed him the truth that adults shouldn't hurt children. I fed him the belief that his life matters. And I fed him the courage to say it wasn't his fault." Her words cut through the street. Cameras kept rolling. Blackwood's face paled as he realized he wasn't threatening one woman anymore. He was threatening a record. "Turn off those cameras. This is national security," he hissed. Kesha laughed once. "Your reputation isn't national security. A child's safety is. 3 SUVs arrive fast. No helicopters this time. Diana stepped out in a Navy suit with 2 social workers and the state attorney. She flashed her badge. We have a report of child abuse and live evidence. Senator Blackwood, we need to talk. You can't seriously believe, he started. Dr. Williams, she corrected coldly. And yes, I believe a child speaking to thousands, including judges and journalists watching right now. She knelt in front of Tommy. Sweetheart, tell me what was happening at home. Diana smiled tightly. If my sister planned your son's 3-month survival on the street, she deserves a Nobel Prize. No, Senator. You planned this with your fists and your lies. Diana tapped her tablet. Your wife is watching the live stream. She's on her way. Blackwood went ghost white. Margaret, what is she doing? Margaret's bruised face appeared on Diana's phone. Tommy, her voice came through the speaker, shaky but strong. I see you. You were brave. Mommy is proud of you. Mom, Tommy cried. Turn that off, Blackwood screamed. Margaret kept speaking. For 8 years, I lied about bruises. I won't lie anymore. My son will not grow up in violence. The internet caught fire. Justice for Tommy began trending in real time. Agent Morrison stepped forward uneasy. Senator, we've been ordered to stand down. The FBI is investigating. I am the higher order. Blackwood roared. Kesha pulled out a second phone. Want to know why the FBI's involved documented everything? Nightmares. The things your son repeated when he finally felt safe. And he repeated more than pain. She opened recordings of Tommy describing threats and overheard calls about missing campaign funds and illegal contracts. A child doesn't invent political corruption, she said softly. He repeats what he hears. Diana played a clip aloud. Tommy's small voice echoed, Daddy said the school money would stay in his account. Daddy hit Mommy when she asked about the hospital money. Blackwood tried to surge forward again, but agents held him back. Their loyalty had shifted to the child. New federal cars pulled in. A special agent stepped out with warrants. Senator Richard Blackwood, you are under arrest for domestic violence, embezzlement, money laundering, corruption, and abuse of authority. As cuffs clicked, a 20-year career collapsed on camera. Tommy looked up at Kesha, eyes wet but hopeful. Will Mom and I be safe now? Forever, she whispered, hugging him. Blackwood spat threats while being shoved into the car, but Diana leaned close. You just threatened 2 black women in front of tens of thousands of witnesses. You don't have influence now. You have a record. When the convoy drove off, Kesha turned to the crowd and the phone still recording. Sometimes protecting a child means tearing down monsters who hide behind suits and speeches. 6 months later, Tommy was in a safe home and a good school, his nightmares fading. Margaret rebuilt her life and began helping other survivors. Blackwood served 15 years stripped of privilege. Diana rose into national child protection leadership, using the case to train agencies to look past wealth and status. And Kesha? At a press conference, she revealed what no one expected. My name is Dr. Kesha Williams, she said, former FBI investigator specializing in crimes against minors. I left after a politician's case was buried. I opened this cart to stay close to where vulnerable kids actually live. She founded the Tommy Williams Foundation, training street workers to spot abuse and report safely. Her cart became both memorial and beacon. Because sometimes the best guardians are the people society overlooks. Kesha's story proved feeding a hungry child is only the first step. The deeper work is feeding them safety, truth, and the courage to speak. And once a child finally does, not even 2 helicopters can drown it out. In the days after the arrest, the city buzzed with shock and debate. Some swore the stream had to be staged. Others said it was the first honest window they'd ever seen into how power can rot in private. But the footage didn't lie. It showed a boy who ran not from poverty, but from polished violence. It showed a mother finding her voice the moment she realized the world was finally listening. And it showed how the people called small are often closest to the truth. Kesha never asked to be a symbol. She didn't pose for cameras or chase headlines. She simply did what her heart and her training demanded. Notice, protect, document, and refuse to hand a child back to danger. The block changed after that. Vendors traded hotline numbers, strangers checked on kids a little longer, and silence became less comfortable. For Tommy, healing took time, but it started that same afternoon. He learned that home could mean safety, not fear, and that adults could raise their voices to defend him rather than break him. For Margaret, the live stream was a door opening after 8 silent years. And for Keisha, it was a reminder of why she left the bureau. Justice doesn't always begin in courtrooms. Sometimes it begins on a sidewalk with someone believing a whisper and choosing not to look away.